Let me tell you about this magical place called Queenstown. Just over 3 hours from the east coast of Australia, it has snow-capped mountains, breathtaking landscapes and adrenaline-pumping activities. And word on the street is of its best experience with good company. So we've brought a crowd favourite back. You might remember Jessie from our incredible week in Sri Lanka, but this trip is going to be a little different.
Guys, I'm not going to lie, it's absolutely freezing up here.
We're swapping out the boiling heat of Sri Lanka for New Zealand's winter. So join us as we experience the fun, snowy, cold, exhilarating and absolutely stunning sights of Queenstown and its surroundings. But first, we've got to catch our flight.
Isn't that a taco sauce? That's stupid. And we're the second last row. We have arrived in Queenstown. It is late. It is almost 10:30, but only 8:30 Melbourne time, so we feel a bit funky, but we had to get some dinner, and we of course had to start with probably the #1 most recommended thing to us to do in Queenstown, which was Fergburger, and very conveniently for us, it is like 2 doors down the road from our Airbnb. So I've got our burgers. I've gone the classic Fergburger. Rosh has gone one of the chicken ones. Jessie's also gone the classic one. Got some chips. I'll give it a go.
Immediate thoughts of your Fergburger.
Very good. I feel like I'm not the best to judge because I don't eat a lot of beef burgers, but it's pretty good. Nice bun texture. Burger well cooked. Cheese well melted. Saucy.
Good actually.
It was really good, yeah.
I was like worried about the bun being dry and flaky, but it's actually good.
10 out of 10. Good morning from here in Queenstown. Finally bright outside. We've got Jessie with us. We can actually see our surroundings and it's very pretty, very cold. It's -1 and it's a high of 1 today, so it's not going to get much warmer than this. But we're heading early this morning to find some coffee and a pastry before heading up the gondola. We are just strolling along the edge of the lake and it's very pretty. There seems to be some sort of market on this morning and it's a bit icy on the ground as well. Lots of little ducks. Coffee has been spotted. Beach Street Cafe was recommended by our Airbnb, so we'll give it a go. I got this salted caramel cookie. It's ginormous and it's really, really good. Really chewy. Who thinks Jessie should bungee for the vlog?
I think not.
Okay, we have wandered over to the Skyline here in Queenstown, but our coffees were just the ladies over there finishing up their brekkie. But we are going to go up. You can kind of see it, the gondola behind us to, I think, the viewpoint, and then do the luge back down, which would be pretty good. We have an Airbnb like right in the middle of town. It's like the perfect location. Do a bunch of day trips and stuff like that, so see a bunch of the surrounding areas. But starting our first day off here, doing some of the top activities here in Queenstown, like the gondola. And then later today we're doing the Shotover jet, which I'm a bit nervous about, but hopefully it'll be pretty good.
Why is this going fast?
No! I can't.
I'm scared. I don't want to stare out this way, but if I go to your side, it's such an unbalanced thing.
I don't think so.
Pay attention.
Alright, we're about to get off the gondola and we can see snow. Snow!
De-icing.
And the luge is being de-iced. Iced? De-iced.
I'm gonna be naked.
Jessie, you did it!
My mum loves collecting Christmas ornaments, so we're gonna get her this cute little Santa Kiwi, and we're gonna get one for ourselves because they're very cute. Probably could get it cheaper, not at the top of the Skyline, but we also don't want to run the risk of not seeing it again, and it's too cute to pass up. We often don't buy like souvenirs because of the big trip that we did around the world. We didn't have space, but now that we're kind of at home, I think I want to start collecting Christmas ornaments because Christmas is my favourite time of year, and I think it'd be so nice to have a Christmas tree full of different moments and memories from our trips around the world. Starting here. We're about to go do the luge. I'm excited. Looks pretty cool.
Snow-capped mountain. 3 girls.
I think we get to do it 3 times, don't we?
Yeah.
Three Guys, I'm not gonna lie. It's absolutely freezing up here. My nose is hard to touch. It's ice. It's 0 degrees, which isn't that bad to be fair, but it feels a lot colder up here.
And that's it.
Hey. When the large doesn't quite fit your head. I've got my pom-pom squished on here. Look at that view. Pretty cool space. Are you cold? We had to wait like about an hour for them to clear the track. We could have gone back inside, but we didn't think it would be as long. So we're quite cold now. Cold toes, can't feel my fingers. but we're about to go on. We've gone up the chairlift, about to do the luge.
Got my own chairlift because I forgot to take the backpack off when we were lining up for the chairlift and panicked and was like, no, and let the others go. So they're ahead. I've got my own one, just chilling. We went down the luge. It was so fun, so fast and so cold, and I didn't have gloves on, so my fingers are still recovering. But we've got a 3 luge pass. But this is so awesome.
The cold is worth it for these views, but it is really freaking cold. Felt like my feet were breaking when I stepped off the chairlift because they even just that movement was defrosting them too quickly. And that's what we went down, and we're about to go down again. Apparently there's multiple tracks. They've only got one open at the moment because it took them ages to clear all the snow and ice, but it was a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Okay, you guys, I am skipping the 3rd time down the luge because I'm walking down this little walking track which goes along the side of the luge, and I'm going to try and film Jessie and Roisin, or Rosh as you would know her. That was weird, I don't know why I said that. But I'm going to try and film them as they go down. It's very cool. I'm actually surprised, I knew there'd be snow, but there's actually a lot of snow. As you can see, I'm surrounded by snow, which I feel like we slightly underestimated. We knew it was going to be a cold week. I think the highest temperature we might feel is 4 degrees, which is very cold. Okay, where should I stop? Maybe I'll stop on this bend and get some action footage of the girls. Woo! And then try and race down to the next point and get them again. But look at my view right now, it's actually insane. 3 hours from where we live is this beautiful city. Everyone told us that the one other place they could think of that's as pretty as Banff is Queenstown, and I have to say, don't disagree. Okay, I need to get to the next point. I seriously cannot get over the views up here. It is so pretty, especially with the snow-capped mountains. I know it's very cold, so it's not for everyone coming at this time of year, early June, but it is very pretty and still a bearable temperature. Could have used with some better socks, could have done with some better gloves, but it was still good. Activity number 2.
I don't know if Jessie's gonna make it. Pretty close. Well guys, as you can see, we are back from our Shotover jet. You can probably tell by my hair. It was so much fun. It only goes for about 25 minutes, which is actually pretty good because it's a lot of moving around, a lot of twisting, a lot of 360s. So if you get a little bit motion sick like I do, probably the perfect amount of time to spend doing those twists. Having a bit of rest, defrosting inside our awesome Airbnb now. I'm just out on our balcony watching the sunset, and we could not be in a better location. We're right next to Fergburger, as we've said. We're right next to pretty much everything. We were able to walk to the gondolas and the luge today, but the Shotover jet was such a cool experience. I actually couldn't believe how fast we were going. They said you go between 80 to 90 kilometers an hour, and the width of the canyon is so narrow, and you're going through at such high speeds and twisting as you go. It was crazy. It was actually pretty scary, but super fun. It's no surprise that Queenstown is the adrenaline capital of the world, but the Shotover jet is 100% something that you absolutely have to do when you're in Queenstown. It was so much fun, and I would definitely do it again.
We just came across a cookie bar. Between 6 and 7 every night, it's buy one get one free cookies. So we of course got cookies. Even though we haven't had dinner yet, nice warm caramel chew. Really good. And Rosh got just choc chip, classic. That was by far the best cookie I've ever eaten, and it was $4 for 2, so $2 a cookie. Oh my god, if you're coming to Queenstown, guys, you heard it here first. Get a cookie from that place because that was life-changing.
Good morning, everyone, from a very cold, very dark Queenstown. It's currently just after 6 a.m. We have a massive day trip ahead of us. We're about to get picked up. But the good news is, because of our central location, we only have a 2-minute walk, and it's actually not too bad. I think it's negative 4 degrees right now. I know we only just walked outside, but manageable. And even at this time in the morning, Fergburger is open. Also, Fergburger is a bar. It is a burger place It's a gelaterie and a cafe. I think that's pretty much it, but that's like a fair amount of things. Fergburger is the Batman of Queenstown because it has that light shining up on the wall like what Batman does to display. It's there to help. Fergburger is also there to help if you're hungry.
2 hours in, we got picked up at 6:30. We made a toilet stop and then we stopped for breakfast at this cafe, the Alpine Cafe. Really pretty views, although I slept for most of it, but really pretty views with the mountains, all snowy. And then we're gonna feed some alpacas.
If you've been around watching our videos for a while, you'll know that Stace is victim. You've got the bit of hair that I always If you've been watching our videos for a while, it'll come as no surprise that Stace was pretty much asleep the entire car ride, even though there were amazing views outside. It's exactly what happened in Canada, pretty much what happened in Scotland. She's like a baby.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
That was so cute, and like they don't even slobber. They're just so gentle. They don't even tickle. You don't even feel them eat it off your palm. So gentle. We had a range of hairstyles, a range of emotions. One was very hungry, if you can consider that an emotion. The other one's still in his emo phase. And then we had almost like a perm. Lovely alpacas. Love to make friends on the road. This is really, really pretty. We're in Anau, but we've got to hop back onto the bus now because we're going to head to Milford Sound and enjoy what we've heard is like a really beautiful drive on the way there.
This is so bumpy.
Bye bye. Hope your day improves.
Got some hand sanitizer for you. We're at Eglinton Valley.
Thank you for that, Jessica. We're at Eglinton Valley here. We stopped off to take some photos. It's very interesting because obviously it is a valley, but also it's really cool to look up close at the mountains and you can see kind of the line or the height where all the greenery and like the trees stop growing because it gets too high and too cold. And in the distance we can see some really cool mountains. I am getting Canada vibes, definitely, for sure.
We're not in Canada.
No, but that's the only other place we've been to is mountains.
Made another stop at this little mini walkway thing to see the reflection of the mountains on the water. It's very, very pretty, very, very cold. But we are going to keep going. We're getting closer and closer to Milford Sound. It's pretty cool, pretty cold. The water is so clear, which is cool.
I don't really know where it begins.
I think it's just because it's like pure like alpine water. Looks like it gets deep. There's got icicles on the rocks.
Lick it.
Yeah, lick it. I don't want to eat it. It's like
Gotta feel the tips.
Yeah,
It's actually like glass. Okay, we just came through the Homer tunnel, which is like tiny and crazy. You have to wait for our turn to go through, but we've come out to this spectacular view. There's snow everywhere. It's so pretty. You can see the road. We're going to keep traveling down. We're getting really close now to our boat tour in Milford Sound. I'm very excited. And it's actually not as cold, I feel.
But there's snow everywhere.
But there's snow everywhere. So pretty. We have boarded our cruise here in Milford Sound and we've taken off. It's already very beautiful and we're still like very close to the cruise terminal. But we're heading out. Apparently we'll go like right kind of near where we hit the Tasman Sea and then we'll come back. It'll be just under 2 hours. Chances of seeing wildlife, like I think he said penguins, seals, dolphins. So hopefully we see some of them. That would be pretty cool. But otherwise just taking in the beautiful landscapes around us. We got to the end where it met the Tasman Sea and as we kind of went to turn around, the wind went up like a lot. So now it's very windy, very cold coming back into Milford Sound or the fjord because it's not technically a sound, it's technically a fjord. I didn't know a sound was an actual thing, but it is. But this is not actually a sound, it's a fjord, so there you go. I need to like tighten it up. Lock myself in. No one else looks like this. It's just me.
Alright guys, we've done Milford Sound, which was a really cool thing to do. We were on our boat for like 2 hours and I got to pretty much touch a waterfall. Wow. Nice little shower. Camera's not exactly waterproof, so I'm being pretty careful. Pretty cool. We're on the route back now to Queenstown, but we got to see some Kia birds, which is good. Now I'm getting back on. We are back from our big day trip to Milford Sound, and we've picked up some mulled wine from Fergburger and some burgers. We're gonna eat it in front of the TV, watch a movie. I've never had mulled wine before. It's like really fruity, Stace. Really fruity and obviously like warm, but not just warm in temperature, like makes you feel warm inside. It's nice. I really rate it. I really like to... No, this is one of those things where like I actually do rate it. It's not just the hype. Unlike the hot apple cider that I drank at one of the Christmas markets we went to. That's interesting. I really wanted to like it. It just wasn't as good as I expected. This is something I can see myself drinking happily at some sort of Christmas market or in any kind of cold weather environment. Today we have driven from Queenstown to the small town of Glenorchy. Took about an hour. I think it said it was going to take 45 minutes, but it's really windy. It's a bit icy. We took it quite slow. If you get motion sickness, maybe take a tablet beforehand, because even as the driver, I felt pretty wonky afterwards. But the views are totally worth it. We're taking some pictures on the pier here at the moment, and then we're going to go take those classic pictures in front of Glenorchy's iconic landmark, which is the red shed, which I think has something to do with back when there was a really small railway. I think that shed is where they unloaded things. Actually, I think that shed is where they unloaded things from the steamboats, if I'm not wrong. If I am wrong, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. Guys, the drive from Queenstown was really, really beautiful. It was really windy, kind of like a Great Ocean Road drive, but you're not on the coast, you're kind of on the edge of the lake, Lake Wakatipu, which is this massive lake that sits kind of in Queenstown, but not only Queenstown, it's so big, it's here in Glenorchy as well. And yeah, you're kind of driving along the edge of that lake, similar to when we drove along the edge of the Loch Ness in Scotland. Obviously, totally different environment. The Loch Ness is this like almost black color, whereas Lake Wakatipu, as the sun was hitting it today, was this like beautiful light blue color, similar to the colors of the lakes that we saw in Canada. But that drive itself was kind of like, so far, the highlight. Like, Glenorchy is really beautiful, don't get me wrong, but the drive itself was really, really stunning. Highly recommend, if you're coming to Queenstown, you should do a trip out to Glenorchy. We've also got another road trip planned for tomorrow, but for now we're going to go for another little drive, don't know where. We're just going to see where the mountains take us. Just waiting for Jessie and Stace, who've had a toilet stop. Pretty nice spot to stop for a toilet stop. They both look like they're looking at their hands in a weird way though. What's wrong?
There's no sink, but there's hand sanitizer.
But it's really slimy. We need some.
Can you please?
Please, may I have some water?
No?
A little bit more.
Pushing him.
Come on, we're in a developed country.
Stace, you're like Snow White. Oh wait! Shoo, shoo, shoo!
We've now just stopped for a little bite to eat, a little bit of lunch. The day is getting away from us at Mrs. Woolley's general store. It's this cute little place, exactly what you'd expect in a small town. It's a little general store mixed with a cafe, mixed with a little gift shop. Very, very cute. Lots of little knickknacks, some pies, other baked goods, yummy stuff, coffee. So stopped here for a bit of a bite, and then I think we're gonna head on to our next stop for the day. I have no idea what it is. Jessie and Rosh have done most of the planning for this trip, but just look at the views here behind me. I feel like it's not doing it justice, but mountains with some cool clouds around them. A wild Jessie.
Okay, we've reached our next destination. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I believe it is Isengard or Isengard, and I also believe it is a scene where Lord of the Rings was filmed. That's my extent of my knowledge of this place and the scene that was filmed. I don't know anything about it. Couldn't find a huge amount online. I was just looking on my phone, so it was a bit tricky, but I would love for you to tell me if you know. I don't even know if I've seen the Lord of the Rings movies, and I love that kind of stuff. I love trilogies and I love kind of like make-believe. So maybe what we'll do tonight, we'll watch Lord of the Rings, maybe. We'll get a bit of information. Stace says no. Look, it is a pretty cool place. It's a bit like, barren's not the right word, is it? Barren? A lot of space, and it's got this one-laned bridge behind us. I feel like that probably was not in the movie. And then you've got some snow-capped mountains on either side. So it is a cool place. It's a really cool place that I think would look really amazing on the drone, but we're not gonna fly it. What do you guys think?
I thought you were asking the viewers.
Jessie and Stace, what do you think?
Okay, we're going to see Bob at his Cove.
It's the beanie hair. I need to brush it
Getting ready
off.
for Bob.
Just getting the middle part.
Do you have a bit of a crush on Bob?
It's just the beanie hair isn't really working for me. Yeah, right, let's go see Bob.
What's up, what's up?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
We've made it to our next stop of the day, Bob's Cove. It's a few different walking trails. I feel like we've cut off from the walking trail. It's meant to be about 20 minutes and we walked about 2. But we found a really nice and pretty spot. Very quiet, very nice views. You can see no one else around us. Except this stalker behind us. Very pretty here, very serene. And not too far out of Queenstown. I think this is closer to Queenstown than Glenorchy. It was about a 40-minute drive from Glenorchy, I think. So we're pretty close back to Queenstown, but super quiet. You can see, well, you can't really see. I can see the clouds kind of covering the top of the mountains. Really quite nice. We've gotten very lucky with weather while we've been here in New Zealand. Again, the camera is not showing it. It looks very white on camera, but blue skies. No, it's not going to show it, but we've had blue skies every day we've been here. No rain yet, touch wood. And I think there's normally a lot of rain in Queenstown, so we've gotten very lucky. Apparently there was a bit of rain and snow in the lead up to when we arrived, so we've gotten very lucky weather-wise, which has allowed us to do a lot of stuff outdoors, see a lot of beautiful things, and have the pretty snow-capped mountains in the background.
Have you seen? It's so cold around here that rocks all have ice, like this layer of ice on them. And same with the sticks and the wood on the ground. It's pretty chilly. You're in heaven, Stace. Kid Mackenzie's shop. And if you guys have been following us for a while, you'll know that there is no way we can walk past a lolly shop. Stace always has to have a bit of a browse inside, and I don't think we're going to be leaving empty-handed.
We got the goods, got some fudge. We went for the creme brulee because they said it was the most popular, and we tried it and it was delicious. And mint. So you can go in and ask for free samples. We tried, what, like 6 flavors and bought 2, so we did our bit. We have now made it to our first destination of the day, Wanaka, which is incredibly beautiful. We have the lake behind me, as you can see, with the very famous tree. This is the only tree in the lake, very famous spot. Heaps of photos for Wanaka and all the advertising and tourism and everything like that. It's very pretty, and as you can see, heaps of people behind me taking photos with it, so you do have to be a bit patient. But it's very beautiful and quiet here. Cold, obviously. Not a lot of snow on the mountains that I can see. I think the ski resorts are meant to open up in just a couple of days, so it is just about ski season. We've come just beforehand. Maybe we'll have to come back another time for ski season, but at the moment just taking some photos with this little guy, and then we'll head on to our next destination. It did take us a hot minute to get here from Queenstown. I think we missed a turn. None of us were really paying attention to the maps, and it kind of just looked like one road, so it wasn't like an obvious cross section, but I think we went a very long loop around, and I reckon it added about half an hour, so make sure you keep an eye on your maps. Instead of going kind of like a direct north route, we kind of went around in a big loop, so it did take a while. Probably took more than an hour and a half in the end to get here. I think it's meant to be about an hour, but we made it in the end. Very pretty. It's a beautiful time of year to come to the South Island of New Zealand because there is a little bit of snow on the mountains. It's cold, but it's not freezing, and it's not too busy as well. Our tour guide from our Milford Sound tour said the other day that is a good time to come because it is kind of just before one of the peak seasons, being the ski season, and it's obviously after the summer, which is another peak season for tourism here in New Zealand. So very good time to come, nice and quiet, but still incredibly beautiful and bearable to be outdoors. Okay, we are now heading out of Wanaka, back in the car and en route to Arrowtown, which is our second and probably last stop of the day actually. Gonna stop, have some lunch when we get to Arrowtown, and then we'll have a bit of a wander around and we can tell you a bit about it. We're about halfway from Wanaka to Arrowtown, and as we've been driving there's been like snow lining the sides of the road. Very windy, just feel a bit sick, but very, very pretty. And then we've just pulled into this little like viewpoint that we were looking for somewhere to pull in so people could overtake us, and happened to find this. So much snow everywhere. Look at the freaking views. How amazing is this? All the snow, all the mountains, you can see them for ages. So pretty.
Go slide down the mountain.
Yeah, we should have brought out toboggan.
We're about to have another episode of what happened in Canada where Rosh thinks she's invincible and can build snowmen and touch the snow with her hands with no consequences. Told her to put her gloves on. She didn't want them to get wet because they are just like wool gloves. So she thinks the better option is to just play with the snow with her bare hands, and she has it in her head she's going to build an entire snowman without any gloves on. We will see. But also, look at this freaking view. It is so pretty behind me and I'm surrounded by snow. Like, look at this whole little viewpoint area just full of snow. It is so cool. The children over here building their snowman. At least Jessie's got her gloves on, but Rosh building with her bare hands. And then she's meant to drive us down the rest of the mountain, so wish us luck. That's the most pathetic little snowman I've ever seen. I am a snowman and you should subscribe. Hit me. Oh, sorry. Wait to it.
I like it the way I move. I like it the way I move. I like it the way I move. I like it the way I do. I like it the way I move. 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 I like it the way I move.
Karate!
Boy oh boy, are you gonna regret some of the decisions you've made today later?
I don't feel them anymore.
That's not a good thing.
Oh, this is so cool. Just such novelty snow is to people like us. This is so cool.
It's so cold. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Guys, we've made it to our final stop of the day. It's the cute little town of Arrowtown, which I believe used to be a gold mining town. It's really giving those vibes. It's giving us Cape Cod vibes. It's giving us Sovereign Hill vibes. Really cute little like old English looking buildings or cottages. It's like really nestled within the mountains. We're really loving it so far.
I'm thinking what I'm thinking.
We've got to do it. We don't have to find.
We've gone for a little wander and we found this house which is very kind of iconic to like pictures of Arrowtown that you'll see. Turns out it's like the oldest surviving house in Arrowtown building from like 1863, 64. It was part of the police camp. It's very cool and looks really cool with the trees how they are at the moment. It's a bit spooky.
So as we've said, Arrowtown was once a gold mining town. What often happens when gold is found back then, people from all around the world would flock to the location to try and get their share of gold. And there's a section in Arrowtown now that's specifically where the Chinese settled, and it still has some of the remnants of like the outhouse, some of the houses, which is pretty cool to see. It's really giving Sovereign Hill vibes. If you're not from Australia or not from Melbourne, Sovereign Hill is in a place called Ballarat, which is about an hour and a half from Melbourne, and it's where the big gold rush happened in Victoria, Australia. Fun fact, Jessie and I went to Sovereign Hill on one of our primary school camps. It was a good time.
They're probably walking up and then
Everyone's going to a bunker or something we're not sure about. There is some sort of alarm going off, not quite sure what it is. Potentially the river gate opening. What do we do in that situation, Stace? I was saying it was probably an earthquake, but apparently I was wrong. Seems to have stopped now. And nobody was concerned, so we're okay.
maybe zombie apocalypse.
Jessie did have, that was like a pretty reasonable suggestion, but didn't come with any sort of, I guess, suggestion of what we should do.
I said I'd sprint to the car. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I gave up. Yeah. Whilst we learned that we probably aren't equipped for a zombie apocalypse, we also learnt that Queenstown and its surroundings are well worth visiting, no matter where you're coming from. Thanks for watching, and YouTube thinks you'll like this video next.